Hello and welcome to Firewalk with us. This week we're talking about Twin Peaks Part 8, and Justin already wants to murder me. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
Yeah, that's about right. I do want to murder you. Anyways, moving on.
Before we start, this is the water, and this is the well. Drink full and descend. The horse is the white of the eyes, and dark within. Now we'll go on to the plot.
Plot, at least happens in the first, 15 minutes of this.
Honestly, it was more like 5 minutes, and then everything else was just flashbacking.
I'll let you talk.
Let's go through this.
Yeah.
In a standoff, Ray shoots Cooper's doppelganger. Woodsman tears his body, revealing an orb with Bob's face. Ray flees and informs Jeffries that the doppelganger may have survived. The doppelganger awakens.
That's the whole plot. That's all that happened.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Then, in 1945 New Mexico, the first atomic bomb is detonated. Woodsman occupied a convenience store, and the experiment spews smoke containing an orb bearing Bob's face. In the building above the Purple Sea, the fireman observes these events and levitates, emanating a golden mist and an orb containing Laura Palmer's face. His companion sends the orb to Earth. And then, in 1956 New Mexico, a woodsman descends to the ground, enters a radio station, and repeatedly broadcasts a mysterious message that goes, "This is the water and this is the well. Drink full and descend. The horse is the white of the eyes and dark within," rendering the listeners unconscious. A bug/frog-like creature thingy hatches from an egg and enters an unconscious girl's room and climbs down her throat. Also in this episode, we get a performance by Nine Inch Nails.
Yes, okay, so, yeah, the doppelganger, Cooper, gets shot.
Yay!
Then we get a bunch of, ghostly people.
The woodsman.
Okay, yeah, sure. Covering him with his own blood. And then we get a Nine Inch Nails song. And then
A good Nine Inch Nails song.
And then he gets up, and then the atomic bomb goes off.
Well, those happen in different time periods.
It's still how it happened in the episode, though.
This is true. But did you see what do you think the point of the atomic bomb was?
Probably to show the evil in men.
That's part of it.
Yes.
It's also, if you're paying close attention, and you might not have noticed this, but when the atomic bomb goes off and we're zooming in, you see a little orb with Bob's face in it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the possibility exists that is how Bob entered our reality.
Through the atomic bomb.
Yes.
Okay.
It was powerful enough to break through dimensions. He's like, oh, look, a little doorway thing. Whee!
Well, the atomic bomb went off. Okay, I'm here.
So, when we get to the convenience store...
Yes.
Do you have more to say, Justin?
With the stop motion part?
Yeah.
You definitely need to give people a seizure warning for that episode, that little bit of it.
That stop motion, whatever was going on there. Honestly, I was doing something else while the whole episode was going on because it was driving me insane. Is this really the episode from this point on? And I'm yep.
In my case, I think it was just a case of the woodsman coming along and being like, oh man, convenience store, let's check this place out. That's how they typically traveled before it came to just being walking in typical sort of fashion.
Got a light.
Got a light. Got a light. Got a light. Got a light. Got a light. Got a light.
I was surprised there was so much head crushing in this episode.
There are a number of heads that get crushed in this.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so what do we think of the poem that the woodsman broadcasts?
Well, supposedly it was decent enough to knock people out. The first line is enough to make sense of that. The other line with the horse and the eye of stuff is sort of like, what?
Am I supposed to make sense of this?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay, now think back. I want you to think back for a minute. when...
Oh, you mean like what? The horse in the room or something?
Yes.
Horsey!
What did you hear at the very end of the episode? At the right when credits started to roll. Normally there would be a musical performance. There was another sound this time.
Heath.
Do you remember what that sound was?
It's during that little bit. That
At
was
the end
still
of
kind
this
of...
episode, right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
That was still kind of recovering from that strange little creature going down that little girl's throat.
Yeah, I was watching that, and I'm like,
Gross.
At the very end of the episode, when credits start to roll, you hear a horse neighing.
Huh.
Whatever this has to do with Bob, I don't know, but apparently it does.
Well, no, but
Or something.
every person that horse appeared to in the series, they died.
Did she die?
Who?
Laura's
Leland.
mother?
Yeah.
I believe so. Does she? Oh no, she sees the horse when she almost dies.
Ah.
But everybody else who sees the horse ends up dying.
Oh. Although, I don't think she's still in this series, is she?
Yeah, no, it probably would be...
No.
She hasn't been yet, at least.
Then, okay.
Oh, boy. So, anywho, nice little bit of symbolism with Bob being the evil dark orb of evil, and Laura being brought in as the all-shiny golden orb of yay and pureness.
I'm not sure if I consider her pureness, but anyways, yeah, there's that dark egg that cracked and the bug came out and wandered on over into the unconscious girl's mouth.
Yes.
And she had such a lovely time, but then she had to get knocked out by that weird radio signal.
I try not to connect myself too much with the characters in this episode as they were not terribly relevant to the main plot of Twin Peaks.
Well,
they need to give
You
you
never know.
something to connect the points.
Well, I mean, sure. I'm not sure what to really understand from the bug going into her mouth. Do they make a baby and it's Bob or something? I don't know.
it could be. Who knows?
I mean...
Was that what Bob was originally when he came into this world?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it's not really explained in this series.
Or at least
It's-
not up to this point.
Not up to this point, but really, it's what I'm understanding at the very bare minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go back to... we see the Purple Sea again.
Yes.
And then we see the building on, like, the rocks and stuff.
Yes.
And we see the fireman, who is the same actor who played the giant previously.
Yes.
And he does his whole levitation thing and tilts and stuff.
And sparkles.
Oh,
Out of
that's
his
Golden
face.
sparkles come out. What do you think that's about?
I don't know, it was really fucked up.
he made the giant little golden orb thing with Laura in it.
I love how Justin's just ranting like, it's fucked up, I don't know.
There's most likely some symbolism, but it's just kind of like, whee!
Oh, it was going all over me. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Alright, so did either of you have a favorite moment or character in this episode?
Probably,
I was very happy for the person that got out with Doppelganger Cooper that shot him, despite the horrible, abominational thing that he had to see with it. But yeah, I don't think that could be helped.
That was probably more or less my favorite moment is when, he tricked the Doppelganger Cooper and shot him.
Gotcha.
I thought you were going to say when it ended.
No. I mean, granted, I was glad it ended. I was glad there was an ending.
My favorite moment is, this is the water and this is the well. Drink full and descend. The horse is the white of the eyes and dark within.
Of course it is.
The first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth time that he said it.
He just says it a bunch.
They said it 8 times.
Okay. I didn't
You
keep
counted?
I didn't keep track.
I just try to mess with Paul.
I hate you. So do either of you have anything to add?
I think just the one typical thing, just because you haven't bothered bringing it up, but just with your typical sort of comics. I'm gonna take a page out of Diane's book. Fuck you, Paul.
Hey, there was no Dougie in this episode. You should be happy.
I tried.
Oh, trust me, as soon as that's gonna come up, you'll be hearing that a lot more.
One thing I pretended to try and do is try to be the conductor for the music in this episode.
You gotta. Plus, there's a really good Diane and Chanel song.
Man, that's
At
true.
like 10
That
minutes
is
in.
Yeah,
That's true.
For seemingly no reason, but
exactly.
Well, they had that sequence of having a couple of people come in and do a couple of music performances, typically at the end of the episode, but yeah, it's nice to kind of change things up.
Yeah, and it probably fits with the episode too, in a way.
yep,
Yeah.
it definitely does.
Yeah. In the strange, bizarre way that it does.
Alrighty, do either of you have any last minute thoughts to add?
Yeah. Can I strangle you yet?
No, you
I
can't.
can't strangle you. Still want to strangle you for this, but
And I think the only one thing I could just finish this up to add is, fuck you, Paul.
yeah, it's all his fault.
Yeah,
Like-
I wrote and directed this apparently. So, where's my fucking check? Showtime.
No, that's not how that works. You didn't write it.
He wishes.
Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for this week. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.
You sound so depressed.